how gold and silver perform during currency resets. But you know, you guys, I have been in these markets on some level since 1964, when I was 10 years old with my Uncle Al. And I cut my teeth on this stuff because that's what I personally am really looking at. Anything other than that is kind of just a short-term trade. And what are you gonna trade things into? Fiat money? I mean, that's crazy talk, to be perfectly honest with you, unless of course you're gonna pay off a mortgage or you're going to buy something, you can only use fiat money. But this is the time to be accumulating actually both gold and silver, but for very different reasons. So let's take a look at that. Historically, you'll see that ratio, the price of gold and the price of silver, grow more narrow. Maybe 15 to 1, 16 to 1, 19 to 1, right? And we know that right now it's very, very high, somewhere around 70 to 1, and it was certainly even higher than that. Oops, I didn't grab my pointer. You know, right up here when we were above 110 to 1, it was close to 120 to 1. So that gap is growing more narrow. That is not a surprise going into a currency reset. That is typically what does happen. But people have, you know, let's see, how to say this. People have taken this little bit of trading, just like those that are watching the stock market go up or the cryptocurrencies go up, in nominal terms, in terms of fiat dollars, and going, oh, well, that's where I want to be. Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. You can't just take any of this at face value. You have to dig a little bit deeper. And all you guys know, I have both, but they perform very different functions for me. But certainly in terms of the currency, gold outperforms silver at a pretty significant level. Why? Because gold is the primary currency metal. What do the central banks hold in reserve? They hold gold. So that at the end of the day, when they reset that currency against it, they reset it against gold. You need both, but they both have different functions. And you have to really ask yourself, what do you want to be holding into a currency reset? For me, it is the mostly, I have both, I want both, you need both. But you need this to sustain your standard of living. You need this to grow your wealth base and to protect all of those fiat dollars that you might not be able to move out of your 401k or out of your IRA or your 403b or your pension plan. And I hope you are not counting on those instruments to see you through this, because anything that you can only convert into, in this country, dollars, well, last time I checked, 1 trillion times 0 is 0. If the dollar has no purchasing power, just like the bolivars, they have no purchasing power. You can have a gazillion of them and it's not going to matter. But personally, I own more gold than I do silver, because silver is about sustaining my standard of living. Gold is about protecting the wealth I have and being in a position to take advantage of the opportunities that lie ahead of us. You know, I've studied currency life cycles since 1987. There are repeatable patterns that happen every time. So I cannot guarantee tomorrow, because that's way beyond my control. But if something has happened over 4,800 times, and we're doing the same things, I'm thinking we're gonna get the same results. So you need both. You need silver for barterability and to sustain your current standard of living. You need gold to protect any wealth, and I mean and your property taxes, which is a big risk. To pay off your mortgage is another big risk. So it's about functionality. As a wealth shield, and you'll know how much silver do I need to sustain my current standard of living through this reset, and how much gold do I need to do that, because of course if you got a significant chronic health issue, then you need to make sure that those expenses are covered and that you can get the medications and the different things that you need. But also to put you in a position to take advantage of these opportunities that present. And what I mean by that, for those that aren't familiar with it, right now, these are the only two assets that are undervalued. Everything else, stocks, bonds, real estate, all of that, severely overvalued. That will change. That will change. Right now, you've got gold and silver here. You've got those other assets here. This will flip-flop. Then your gold is what you're going to use to convert into these other assets and income-producing assets when they are undervalued. So that's why that is one big reason anyway, why that is the lion's share of my personal portfolio. And I think it needs to be the lion's share of yours as well. So I had a great interview this morning with Neil McCoy Ward on his channel, and it will be out this weekend. Did we have a specific day? It's a two-parter. Saturday. It'll be out on Saturday, and it really was a lot of fun. It was a great thing. We focused on UBI. I mean, we did go off. I went off a little bit, but we focused on UBI, Universal Basic Income, as well as CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. So I think definitely worth watching part 1 and part 2. And then on Thursday, I don't know when that one will be released yet, but I'm really excited about this, Mark Moss on his YouTube channel. So if you just stay tuned to our socials, we will absolutely let you know when those are going live. And next week, I'm going to be on Spiritually Inspired with Claudio Morgan. And you know, that's a different direction. So I'm excited about that because I definitely feel spiritually inspired. You guys know me you've been watching for a long time.